Commissioner Lambert.
Yeah. I believe that we need to deny this. Number one, I think it may be unconstitutional. I don't see that this body has a right to tell someone that because they work somewhere in Knox County government that they're ineligible to serve. I think anyone has a right to run for public office. I think the people have a right to vote for who they want to vote for. And I think it would also be very hypocritical of this body to pass this. Now, this is, we're talking, you're putting Knox County employees. Well, why don't we add people who have family members that are Knox County employees? If a family budget, if part of that family budget is from Knox County, then why not add that? Then why don't we add people who work for other governing bodies that receive money from Knox County? You know, say the city of Knoxville, we have a lot of joint ventures, just about all the TIFs in the city. The county is involved in also. So why don't we make it ineligible for city employees to hold public office? And why not state employees? Because we, especially with UT, we send a lot of money to UT. If we use those criteria, right now at this time, 63% of this sitting body that I know of, now there may be some folks that I don't know about, but 63% of the folks on this body right now at this time have some connection or have a family member who has some connection to a governing body. Okay, we'll take right after the last election, this is prior to folks being thrown out for not being eligible to serve because of term limits, 52% of this body either worked for government or had a family member that worked for government. I think this is very hypocritical. I think it's unconstitutional. And I do believe that this is directed toward one person. It's toward making a campaign issue about whether a person works for Knox County or not. And I believe that it is that this has been brought up for political motivations, and it has been brought up to try to discredit one person who's running for the Knox County Commission right now. And I don't think that this body needs to play politics. I think that that it is unconstitutional to say that because you work for Knox County that you're ineligible to serve. I think the people have a right to vote for who they want to vote for. Also, if we encompassed into this, if you're a member of a board that receives grant money from Knox County, I would dare say there wouldn't be hardly any of us that would be eligible to serve. And I think if you're a Knox County employee or if you sit on a board that receives grant money from Knox County, what's the difference? You have a connection to Knox County and you have a conflict of interest, according to this same logic, and I just don't think the logic holds true. I think the people have a right to elect who they want to elect, and if they want to elect someone who also works for Knox County, they have every right. I also think this is an insult to countless Knox County employees who have honorably served on this commission over the years. Frankly, I have been proud to serve with Craig Leuthold. I don't have a problem with the fact that he works for the trustee's office, and apparently his constituents don't have a problem with him working for the trustee's office because he's been sent to this commission to represent the people of the district for a second term. And I just think that this is ridiculous, and I think that we need to remove this.
Mr. Pinkston.
I'll have to agree with Commissioner Lambert there, but I really feel like this is a smack in the taxpayers and the citizens of Knoxville's face. Personally, I didn't like this pack here the other day. It gave these people $4,500. What they're saying is the citizens of Knoxville do not have enough sense to vote for the candidate. Now, on this, Commissioner Leuthold, was it made public where you worked at when you were elected?
Well,
did you let people know that
on every piece of literature that I sent out, I disclosed who I worked for. Both times I was elected.
Then what we were denying the people would be denying the people the right to vote someone in that they want, like you. If you couldn't have ran, these people apparently wanted you, we were denying them a right. Is that right?
I'm going to have to just defer back to the fact that I did win 2 elections.
All right. All right. Now, let me ask you this, Mr. Lutho, and I hate to be picking on you, but you're the only one here that seems to be working for the county right now. You can't run anymore. You're term limited. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Do you not think that it would be violating some people's constitutional rights that have the right to run for an office, even though they...
Well, I appreciate your questions, and I appreciate the kind words, but I have recused myself of this issue, and I'd rather just excuse myself from the discussion if that'd be possible.
Right. Well, in state law here it says, notwithstanding any provision of the law to the contrary, any county employee otherwise qualified to serve as a member of the county legislative body shall not be disqualified from such legislation office by reason of being a county employee. So, you know, before we start bringing all these things up, we need to start looking at some of these laws in the Constitution. I don't think we have the right to go against that, and I believe that you're opening yourself up for a lawsuit from a person that works for the county government that would want to run for office. You're taking their rights away, Commissioner Hammond. Where does it stop at? Personally, maybe we need to go to the news media next. Next, we need to go to Commissioner Harmon over there. He works for the state. Commissioner Norman's wife's a school teacher. He was elected as a school teacher, county employee. Next, you maybe want to hit age because of me. We're discriminating against these people. Everybody has a right, and the citizen has a right to vote for who they want to, and they don't have to vote for these people. I keep having to bring Commissioner Lutho's name in this, but I don't believe I saw him at any of the polls or anybody talk about him having a pistol down there making people vote for him. You know, so I don't understand this at all, why anyone would want to go against our Constitution, which is to give everybody equal rights. What we're doing, it sort of appears like that you're wanting to push things back to the Dark Ages when women and blacks couldn't even vote, Mr. Hammond. We start passing laws against some people, it affects everybody. Somebody just keeps adding to it. I'm going to have to vote against this, and I think this is really out of order.
Commissioner Moore.
You know, I think I'm going to be quick. I think that's a campaign issue. The state legislature dealt with it last year. The legislature, I think, said that it was a campaign issue, and they kind of just let it go. And I think people in Knox County are smart enough to decide who they want to represent them. And if it's a county employee, so be it. So that's all I have to say.
Commissioner Hammond.
Mr. Chairman, I'd rather let all the attacks get out of the way, and then I'll be happy to respond. So I'll just wait.
I don't believe anybody was attacking you. I believe people stating that.
Commissioner Lambert.
Well, I mean, I want to ask you, why now? If this isn't about Lee Trammell, and I don't know what you're so afraid of, I don't know why Lee Trammell has certain folks on this commission so terrified that they have to create a campaign issue to try to make him ineligible to serve. But if it's not Lee Trammell, why now? You have sat next to a county employee for as long as you have served on this body. You have never said one bad thing about that. And in fact, when we were making the appointment process, talking about nepotism, you couldn't find enough nice things to say about his father, which all those nice things were true, and I certainly agree with them. But why now? Why now do you bring up nepotism and cronyism and things like that? Why now, if this is not to try to create a campaign issue to see that to help Mr. Trammell's opponents? Why now, if it's not about Mr. Trammell? And if it is about Mr. Trammell, what are you afraid of?
Commissioner Strickland.
Well, I don't have any attacks, but I don't think we need to supersede. State law says that anyone can run. That's the reason I'm going to vote against it.
Commissioner Hammond. I'm sorry.
Well, that was my question to Mr. Owings. Would you speak to the constitutionality of this resolution?
Sure. Those who have just expressed their sentiments aren't going to agree with this. But given the Supreme Court's decision in the Bailey case, given the Supreme Court's decision in the Jordan case, it is very obvious to me, as